Hi everyone. Today I want to continue sharing my story. What happened after I married my American husband and officially left Vietnam to start a new life in the US. Honestly, it was a journey that made me both excited and nervous to the core. I was born in a peaceful countryside in Vietnam, where mornings are filled with bird songs and evenings with the sounds of family dinners. Life was calm and simple, until I fell in love with an American man. After our small wedding in Vietnam, I began preparing for my new life in the US. At the airport, my mom cried endlessly while hugging me. My dad held my hand and said softly, "Live well, my daughter." I cried too, not out of sadness, but because I knew I was about to start a new life in a new world. I hugged my parents, my little sister, and stepped through the departure gate with teary eyes. My suitcase was full of dried fish, fish sauce, and a piece of my homeland. The flight was nearly 16 hours long. I couldn't sleep. Looking out the plane window into the night sky, I quietly wondered, will I be okay? Will I fit in? The plane landed in Los Angeles in the afternoon light. My heart was pounding as I pushed my luggage through the terminal. Everything felt strange. My husband was already waiting at the gate. He ran to me, hugged me, and said, "Welcome home, Lynn." Those 3 words made me burst into tears. On the way home, I stared out the car window. Neat houses, wide roads, quiet traffic. Nothing like Vietnam. I asked, "Why is it so quiet here?" He smiled. "You'll get used to it." At home, my in-laws greeted me warmly. Mom-in-law had dyed green hair and wore a floral dress. Dad-in-law was tall with gentle eyes. They hugged me like their own daughter. I breathed a sigh of relief. I woke up early on my first day and cooked bun bo hue to impress the family. Everyone sat at the table, but then pulled out cereal and milk instead. I was shocked and amused. Still, they tried my bun bo and said, "Spicy but tasty." I began adapting to their household routines. Strict meal times, no staying up late. Evenings were for TV and family chats. They spoke English so fast I barely understood, but they always slowed down, checked if I got it. My husband translated, "Mom says your cooking is delicious." Dad asks if you want to visit the farmer's market. The biggest shock? Dishwashing. In Vietnam, we rinse everything thoroughly. Here, they just toss dishes in the dishwasher. No rinsing. I panicked. I mopped the floor daily, but Mom-in-law said, "No need, just once a week is fine." And the grocery store? No vendors, just self-checkout, no small talk, no bargaining. I missed Vietnam terribly. The street vendors, the food smells, my mom's voice. That night I cried under the blanket. My husband held me and said gently, "You're doing great, everything will be okay." Life slowly warmed up. Mom-in-law taught me to bake apple pie. I showed her how to roll spring rolls. We laughed together. Dad-in-law took me fishing. I had never touched a rod before, but he patiently guided me. We picnicked, grilled meat, and I made Vietnamese salad rolls. On Thanksgiving, I wore an áo dai, and my mother-in-law wore a red sweater. We cooked together. In that moment, I felt happy. Life in a foreign land isn't easy. Some days I was exhausted, homesick, lost in the unfamiliar sounds. But love, family, and patience made me stronger. I was no longer the shy girl I once was. Now I'm a wife, a daughter-in-law, building a new life. Thank you, my dear husband, for believing in me. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for welcoming a little Vietnamese girl into your home. And thank you all for following my journey. If you see yourself in my story, leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to Vietnamese Wife in the US. More stories are coming. After a few months, I realized you can't survive in the US without driving. I wanted to go shopping, take my in-laws to appointments, be independent, so I enrolled in driving school. First day, my hands were shaking. I stalled the car in traffic. My instructor, a chubby, cheerful man, just smiled and reassured me. "No worry, you'll get better." My husband helped me practice every night. I almost hit a trash bin once and he just laughed. "You're doing fine, honey." I passed the test on my second try. Holding that license, I felt free. I started working at a nail salon, not for money, but to learn, to connect. It was tough, but I learned English so fast. A sweet old customer complimented my work and corrected my pronunciation. "Don't say tree for three, okay?" I nodded. Yes, 3. At the salon, we shared stories about marriage and mother-in-law drama. One lady said, "In America, we have to be strong. No one else will take care of us." I also took online classes, English, American culture. I realized it's never too late to learn, as long as you're willing to try. Even after settling down, I missed home deeply. Mom's soup, neighbors calling each other, the warm sound of rain. I started cooking Vietnamese food weekly, learning from YouTube, rice cakes, bánh bò, bánh xèo. One day I made bún riêu. The fermented smell filled the house. Mom-in-law yelled, "Oh my God, what's that smell?" I laughed. "It's the smell of Vietnam." I taught my in-laws to use chopsticks, taught my husband to say "come on." We watched Vietnamese opera together, laughing and confused, but happy. I realized wherever I live, I am still Vietnamese, and I want my future children to know that too. My husband and I began dreaming about the future, children, a house, a garden. One night he asked, "If we have a daughter, what would you name her?" I said, Mai, after my mom. I want our child to speak Vietnamese, to understand where I come from, to know why we light incense during Tet, why we make bánh chung. I dream of starting a YouTube channel, to share stories, connect with others like me, and help Vietnamese women abroad feel less alone. Being a wife and daughter-in-law in a foreign country isn't easy, but with love, patience, and an open heart, anywhere can be home. Thank you for listening to my journey, from a small-town girl to a Vietnamese wife in the US. If you relate to this story, please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe to Vietnamese Wife in the US for more real-life stories.